morning. Thank you so much for joining this morning. As always, please practice in accordance with your abilities and your experience level. If you know the variations, of course, you may go ahead and do them as you see fit. If you have any injuries or anything, please respect your limitations. Remember, the practice is an offering, and how you're feeling is to an extent affecting everybody on some level. So just watch what you're doing. So on that note, let's begin. Just close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's do the mantra for purification once to purify the space, the grounds, all the psychic channels within as well. If you don't know it, just pretend you're saying it through the voice of the Guru. You derive all the benefits as though you're chanting perfectly. And try to do it, if you know it, loud enough. And in single breath, so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around. So let's begin. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sajihi. Now let's do a few breathing exercises. First of all, let's do spiritual breathing to establish a deeper connection with the divine and essence within. Bring the arms up, the palms facing upwards from the fingertips. Inhale down through the arms into the spiritual heart. Imagine you're drawing the best into the body. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding in the spiritual heart and centering the chest and the right side of the physical heart. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. Just a breath leaves back out. Everything you pulled in stays within. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale from the fingertips down through the arms into the spiritual heart. 4. Use your attention to attract it all to the spiritual heart. 6, 7, 8. Holding again in the heart center. Hold the breath. Exhale out through the arms. Send out just again the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. Pull in everything you need down into the spiritual heart. Feel yourself being flooded by all that goodness coming in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding it in the spiritual heart again. Hold it as an offering to God. Exhale out through the fingertips. Just a breath. Back out again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Now we'll do Anuloma Viloma. So this is an alternate nostril breathing that promotes calmness of mind. is when the mind is calm, that it becomes content, free of restlessness, free of cravings, and then it's more conducive to meditation. When the mind is restless and full of desires, which lead to attachment, which ultimately leads to suffering, there's no quietness in the mind that can be attained. So just try to find that uniformity of mind, the calmness of mind through this technique. Bring the left hand in Yana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected. You can rest on the knee with the palm either up or down. This is Mudra consciousness. Other hand, Vishnu Mudra, second, third fingers fold down. But when you turn the palm towards you, this is no longer Vishnu Mudra. We use the mudra for the alternate nostril breathing. The thumb for the right nostril, the right ring finger for the left nostril. Always remember the right hand. So remember to close off the nose completely, nostrils completely full for about half a second before you exhale on either side. And through this technique, we'll also apply the friction technique. As you inhale, you imagine a breath moving down towards the root of the spine. As you exhale, imagine the breath moving back up. So sort of a little bit of counterintuitive the move in the breath, but just try to keep your attention fixed on the move of the breath in order to focus the mind. Concentration, just like the postures, requires constant repetition, constant practice in order to achieve it. So let's begin. Stand up tall and straight. Empty the lungs completely on the next exhale. Then close off the right nostril. Inhale down to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close the left side. Open right. Exhale back up. 3, 4, 5. Completely deflate. 7, 8. Inhale back down. 3, 4. Feel the breath moving towards the root of the spine. 6, 7, 8. Pause, close both sides of the nose. Then exhale back up. Release the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, inhale, gradually filling up the lungs and raising the chest. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close the left, open right. Exhale back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale down through the right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close both sides of the nose, then open the left. Exhale back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Gradually deflate the lungs, empty completely. 7, 8. Continue on your own. Keep watching the movement of the breath like you're the witness, watching everything. You're the seer, not the doer. If the mind starts to wander, be unconcerned, be unjudging. Just keep on trying to bring your mind back to what is happening here and now in your pranayama. It's not the result that's most important, it's the effort. Try not to attach too much to the outcomes, to the benefits. They will arrive anyways, especially when you come into the practice with an intention of offering. Next time you breathe out of your left side, conclude, take your time, do the full cycle that's meant to be. you're done, just sit quietly for a moment. Notice any effects, any changes to the state of the body, the mind, and the emotions. Again, no expectations, no attachment to the results. Come back to the spiritual heart, their focus there. And each and every being, there's a portion of God that exists and that resides in the spiritual heart. Tap into the divine essence in all beings. Try to see God in all the forms. And that's what we'll continue with throughout the practice, this idea, this intention that God is within all beings. So now let's come to standing. So just start off by shaking out all the impurities out of the organs. As you're doing this, you're pumping the belly button in and out. You're doing that as you hold the breath out, so you're completely empty, and you just imagine that the vigorous movement of the organs shaking is allowing all the impurities to fall out. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend down, hands on the knees. Empty out completely, and then start pumping the belly button in and out. Try to do at least 50 times as you hold the breath out. And then keep holding the breath out. Push the belly button in as you try to throw it right through the lower back and the heart between your shoulder blades. Hollow out the area underneath the red basket. Exhale, come back up. Breathe in. Breathe out. So by in and out, just mean like just pushing the belly button right to the front of the spine. One more time, inhale. Exhale, go down. Empty out completely and start to shake everything up inside. Pull everything up and in again. Hold the breath out. And release, coming back up. Now we'll continue with the exercises to help keep the body in a state of radiant health to produce heat, which helps also promote the release of impurities. Do the exercise with vigor, do the breathing with enthusiasm in order to get the full range of benefits. Actually hands on the hips, start with the head circles. Move the head in all directions, try to get the ears to shoulders, the back of the head to top of the back, the chin on the chest. And then switch the direction, rotation. Allow the head to fall all the way around the neck. Good. And then stand your feet about 10 inches apart or so. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, down. Continue. Next one, spread fingers wide, pull the hands up over the head. Exhale, form fists, yank the arms down. Same action, but the arms go in front of the body and pull in. And now arm swings back and forth. Throw the arms back behind the ears. Loosen the shoulders. And then release. Arms across the chest. And then exhale. Throw the arms back. Each time your arms come across the chest, alternate the cross. Next one, swing the arms up over the head. Exhale, toss the body down. Allow the belly to hit the thighs. One more. Stay down, allow the body to stop bouncing and shaking. And then roll your way back up. Next one is the squat. So if you can't go down all the way, just go down to the level that you can. Be mindful of the knees. Inhale, arms straight up. Exhale, drop down into a squat. And right back up. Elbows out to the side. Twist from side to side. As you exhale, as you twist all the way, that's when you exhale, the inhale comes back in the middle. When you come back in the middle. And back to the center. And next one, again, includes a squat. 4 movements. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Pretend you're Jack in a box. Springing up through the box and then being pushed down. And then next, arms out in front of the body. Inhale, circle around to the front. Exhale, pull and then push right back out. Now bring your arms by the sides of the body. Inhale, circle around to the front. Exhale, pull in and then punch right, and then pull the arms down. And then release. Next one, going from side to side, open up the feet a little bit more, the toes pointing out beyond the edge of the mat. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale to the right, right arm up. Exhale, bend to the left. Back to the center. The same movement, but the breathing's a little bit different. Left arm up, inhale, bend to the right. Hold the breath. Coming back up, try to go a little bit deeper into the bend with the breath retention. Right arm up, inhale, bend to the left. Slide your left hand down the leg a little bit more. And then come back. Try not to hunch forward. You can turn the left foot a little bit so the toes are following the same line as the leg. The chest is up. And release. Try not to create folds in the underside of the body when you bend. Continue. Imagine you have weights attached to all the fingertips. Pull you deeper into the bend. Move according to your condition. Don't go to a place of pain or suffering or anxiety. This is not what you want to transmit. I think that with every act of violence to self or others, it's being felt by God who's residing within. And so this helps you to keep mindful in all your actions, thoughts, and words. Imagine the body moving gracefully, even if you can't do the full extent of the pose of any given pose. Just do your best. See yourself in the image of what you're representing, and then perhaps that effect or that action, that manifestation will take place. You merge with a form. And let's do one more to the left. And then return. So now we're going to come onto the hands and knees. Cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale. Powerful movements, powerful breathing. Inhale. Stretch the belly skin. Exhale, stretch the back skin. Inhale. Push the belly button and the heart down. Exhale, throw them up through the back body. Inhale. Exhale. Try not to jam up the lower back or the back of the neck on the inhale. And try to keep a little bit of space between your top of your chest and your chin when you exhale. Inhale, you always want to try to let the breath pass. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, two more. Telescope the trunk out of hips and neck out of shoulders. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Now come back to neutral spine. Swing the right leg up. And then out to the right on the exhale. Throw the leg up on the inhale. Of course, modify as you need to. Slow down the movement if you need to. The idea is just to loosen up the hip joints a little bit. And then the other leg, left leg up, and then swing it out to your left. Imagine at some point the toes are going to touch the head. And then release. Come onto the belly now. The blanket is so that the hips don't grind into the ground, a little bit more comfortable. So then join the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. When you come up, squeeze the heels, your palms together, engage the buttocks and the upper back muscles. Inhale up, exhale down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, pressing the tops of the feet, up, down. Imagine trying to get your hands right over your feet, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. One more, up and down, and break the pose. Breathe in. Breathe out, let go of all struggle, all fatigue, all efforts. Next one, the arms are in front of the body. A few options here. You can raise the legs and arms at the same time and come back down on the exhale. Inhales when the legs go up and the arms go up. Alternatively, you can do the left arm up and the right arm leg up and then switch. So opposite sides always of the limbs. Or if you have more strength, both legs come up, and then when the hips and the chest hit the ground, just propel the upper body upwards. Okay, so this is good for just the digestive, prevent buildup of gas here. So we begin. Don't push off with your hands, it'll stop the flow of momentum. And then relax. Forehead on hand, breathe in. And breathe out. Sometimes it takes you a while to get the sense of the postures. Just keep practicing. Keep up the effort. It's the effort is that's most important. Now, start child's pose here. 4 movements in the next sequence. Inhale, come up into high cat. Exhale, Cobra. The hips drop to your hands, shoulders back, chest forward. Inhale, come back up. High cat. Exhale, sleep on heels, child's pose. Inhale, come up again. Exhale, forward and coiling like the serpent. Back up, inhale. Exhale, all the way back. Inhale, rounding your back. Exhale, arching, flexing the spine. Inhale, back up. Rounding. Exhale, flattening and lengthening. Inhale, moving away. That doesn't create any interruptions in the flow of energy. So no big kinks, no big folds across the back of the lower back or in the back of the neck. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward. Imagine a hose. When you fold it sharply, then it stops the water flow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, smooth transition. So in order to keep the spine, the curve of the spine smooth. No kinks anywhere, either at the either end. Inhale, the lower back or the back of the neck. And forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back. Inhale, imagine your wave emerging from the ocean, reaching its full height. And then starting to crest, diminish, and then back, disappears into the water. Inhale. Exhale. Use your imagination to visualize the effect or the pose that you're trying to attain. It goes a long way into helping you realize what you see in your imagination. Forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine having that boundless range of motion like the serpent. Inhale, back up. And back. Copy the form on all levels, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Up. And forward. Up. Inhale. And back. And then just rest here for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, I've got something in my hand. I've got a piece of hair in my mouth. Inhale, come up. Okay, so now from here, just starting again with your seat back behind heels. This time we're going to glide forward into Cobra and hold it on the breath retention and hold the pose on the breath retention. So glide forward, pull the body through between the arms, hold the breath as you come up, as you attain your Cobra. So you need to start a little bit lower, it's all good. Just do according to your condition and abilities. Exhale back. If that was a difficult entry, you can start same way, coming to baby plank, drop your hips, and then take your head all the way back. Imagine you get the back of the head to come right on top of the seat. Hold the breath, hold the pose. Make sure you don't lose your neck, keep your shoulders down. And back, exhale. Inhale, glide forward again. Pull with your hands, try to pull, as though you're trying to pull the floor towards you. Allow that action to propel you more easily and powerfully into the pose. And back, exhale. Inhale, come forward. blessed are those who can imitate the teacher, in this case a serpent, physically. And back exhale. Again, come forward. Twice blessed are those who can imitate the form mentally, be regal and wise as the serpent. Hold the breath, hold the pose. And back exhale. 3 times blessed who can imitate the teacher spiritually. Try to tap into all the divine qualities. They all exist within you. You just have to turn them on. Hold the breath, hold the pose. And back. And the body still, mind has more of an ability to come into quietness. Come forward again. This time, if you like, press into your fingertips, come up, get a little bit more height. Open up the legs, bring the toes up towards the head. Doesn't matter if your toes don't touch the head. Just do your best again. And back, exhale. The king of the serpents, inhale. See it in your mind. The wings on either side of the head very wide, so it's like the shoulders moving back, the chest wide. Good, and back, exhale. Inhale. Just keep seeing yourself in forms. Tap into their consciousness. And back, exhale. Point the toes. Imagine trying to squeeze socks behind your knees so you don't lose them. They don't fall out from behind the knees. Hold the breath, hold the pose. Remember, don't lose the neck. Keep your shoulders down. Telescope the body out of the hips. And come forward. Hold the breath, hold the pose. And back. Rest again, child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go of all efforts. And then roll your way up. And then from here, make your way onto your back. Lie on the back. Starting off with tucks. Arms out over the head, stretch out the body on the inhale. Exhale, pull in. Try to get the shoulders to the knees, the chin between the knees. Inhale. Exhale, pull into a tuck. Squeeze tight. Inhale, lengthen as much as you can. Exhale, make the body as compact as possible. Make it look like a fist. Inhale. Spread the fingers and toes and then exhale, pull in. Inhale. Exhale, equal amount of power and efforts on each segment of the movement. Inhale. Exhale. Keep being present, be engaged. Remember, the witness within is always watching. Inhale. Exhale. So make it worthy of their attention. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. This time, when you come into tuck, hold the breath. Squeeze everything tight. Peel the shoulders up off the mat. Try to bring the shoulders right to the knees. And if you can get your hands above your knees, try to bring your forehead to your hands. Exhale, release. Inhale, stretch again. Hold the breath and tuck. All the muscles coming together and towards the center of the body. And release. It doesn't matter if your forehead doesn't reach your hands. Just concentrate on the center of the forebrow, regardless. The seat of the divine perception. Release, exhale. Inhale, stretch. Hold the breath, come into tuck. Everything stops. All the mind fluctuations, the body movements, even the emotions are as though they were frozen. Release, exhale. Inhale, extend. Hold the breath and tuck. Release. Feel all the body parts moving together in concert, in sync. Hold the breath, hold the pose. Release, exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Try to get as many of the parts of the body to come together. Really squeeze tight. Shoulders to the knees, chin to the knees, forehead to the hands, heels to the seat, thighs to the belly. Release, exhale. One more inhale, stretch out. Hold the breath and tuck very, very tightly. Although the body's experiencing a lot of effort, expending a lot of effort, unchanged, calm, undisturbed. And release. Breathe in and breathe out all fatigue. Take another breath in. Imagine being filled up with beams of light and energy from all around. Exhale, flood your whole body with it. Feel recharged, rejuvenated. Okay, next one. Arms up over the head. You can start rolling. So if you can, bring your legs up. You can keep it, bend your knees if you like, to roll back and forth. If you're stronger, you try to keep your legs and arms straight. So as your legs come up, try to bring them all the way behind the head, and then all the way back down. Wait till the heel touch down before you sit up. Hold your breath. You can make the transition. Try to make the movements as graceful as possible. Remember, modify the movement as you see fit in order to suit your ability. Comfort. Try not to allow the legs or either legs or the trunk to come crashing down on the ground. No jerks. No aggressive, loud movements. Good. Just feel the whole direction of the whole spine peeling up and off and then back down on the mat. So this time you go back. Get ready to stand. Bend your knees. Plant your feet and come right back up to standing. So now let's come to the front of the mat. A few rounds of Surya Namaskara. Remember to offer up all of the fruits of the practice to all beings everywhere. Do this practice because it must be done for the benefit of all. Imagine we're together physically, moving like a school of fish. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Fold forward, bend your knees, bring your hands on the ground if you need to. The right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank, lower down the knees, feet all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward between your arms. Pull yourself all the way through into Cobra. And then back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat, allow the heart to melt. If you can, touch the head to the ground. And then the right foot steps forward. If it's too difficult to do, you can bring the back knee down, the left knee. Use your right hand to slide the foot forward if it doesn't make it all the way forward. And then the feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up, arch back as you see fit. Engage the buttocks and your upper back to support you in the movement. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. Stretch the whole front of the body. Pull the body down onto your legs. Fold the body in half. Left foot back. Into the plank. Down we go, knees. The seat all the way back. Glide forward again between your arms. Push the shoulders back. Head all the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, melt the heart in every sense. Left foot forward. Sink down to the seat. The seat comes all the way forward towards the front heel. Then the feet come together. Uttanasana. Push the body into your legs. The head comes down. Come all the way up to standing. Come back home. Keep on being a witness, watching the body moving all by itself. Gracefully, powerfully. Visualize the body moving in this way in your mind, and this will translate into your movements. The right foot back, lower down the knee, into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, forehead down. This time you come forward. Pick the hips and knees up off the ground when the hips come between your hands. Chest all the way forward in front of the arms. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the right foot steps forward to the hands, arch the back, bring your shoulders back, look up. Feet together, all the movements reflecting devotion, surrendering to the highest self, to divine grace, hands back to the heart. Go up and back, Keep saying to yourself, I do this, God, because it's my obligation to you. I fold the body in half, Uttanasana, left foot back. Into the plank, Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, forehead down. Scoop right through into upward facing dog if you can. Hips and knees up off the ground, legs charged. And back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps forward, feet together, bow down in own humbleness. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. And then back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. And go forward and down. Uttanasana. The right foot back. This time do not drop the back knee down to the ground. Keep the back leg strong. Into the plank. You can do the same entry. Ashtanga Namaskar. Knees, chest, forehead down. Or if you're stronger, bring the seat back. Keep your knees up. And pull yourself right through. Swing right into upward facing dog. No legs on the ground. No knees or hips on the ground. And then stay here for a moment. Keep the toes bent under. Pulse a little bit. Try to move your shoulders back. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Again, try to telescope your body out of the hips so you don't create a big fold across the lower back. And then push in to reach your toes. Lift your seat. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here, soften the line in the back. Try to get your chest down close to the ground. If you're very flexible, make the forehead, the nose, maybe the chin come down. Try not to bend the arms. Gonna look like a dog stretching its back. Now looking forward, the right foot forward without dropping the back knee to the ground. Push out to the left heel. And then send the left foot forward to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right to standing. And then back home. Always coming back to source divine love. Reach the arms up. Bury your mind deep in the heart. Watch the body moving with always even more steadiness, grace, and ease. Left foot back, push out to the back heel. Again, keep the back knee lifted. Into the plank. Again, your entry into upward facing dog. Knees, chest, forehead down, or all the way back. And try to pull the elbows into the sides of the body. Push into your toes and the hands. Come up into upward facing dog. Again, stay here, pulse a little bit. Move the joints. Keep the joints in the radiant cell by moving them every day. And then lift the seat back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Think of a dog loyal to its master. This pose reflects that humility, that humbleness, that loyalty, devotion. Stay in the same mindset for when it comes to your practice. Then the left foot forward, back knee presses up. Back knee presses up towards the sky. And then send the right foot in to meet the left. Uttanasana. Come all the way to standing, reach up over the head. And come back home. One more variation. Reach the arms up over the head, arch back as you see fit. As you come forward, bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. And then see if you can push your legs right against your body, against the legs, straighten the legs. Uttanasana, hands over your shoulders, maybe from the head. Now here, look forward, right leg back. Okay, just keep the toes bent under if you like. Kapiyasana, bring your arms up over the head. Shine your heart up. Maybe like a crescent moon. And then come right back out, hands down. Here, swing the left leg all the way up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. You have a choice when you come forward. Shoulders over the fingertips to bring your foot down this point in high plank, or keep your leg up. Pull your elbows into the sides of your body, and see if you can lower down your chest first with controlled movements. And right into upward facing dog. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg comes up. Again, three-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Into Kapiyasana again. Push the back toes. Reach up and back behind you. Stretch the front of the body. And then coming forward again, pushing off the left foot to bring it forward. The hands over the head. And maybe in front of the head. Body against the thighs. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up over the head. Come back home. And again, raise your arms up. Imagining you're doing a divine dance of devotion. Connect all the movements together seamlessly. Press your belly into your thighs and push the seat all the way up over your heels, perhaps. Straighten your legs if you have the flexibility. If not, if your body starts to detach from the legs, just keep your knees bent a little bit.
Now move your chest further down beyond the knees, the head reaching towards the feet. Now from here, hold the breath, left leg back.
Copy asana again, bring the arms up overhead, behind the head. And then right back out.
Hands back down. Send the right foot all the way up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Savasana. Come forward again into your high plank. Keep your leg up or lifted and lower your chest down to your hands. Pull the elbows into the sides of the body. Push through the base of the toes and heels to your palms. Right up into upward facing dog. Back through into downward facing dog. Melt the heart. Left leg comes up immediately. Imagine you're a shapeshifter moving between the forms effortlessly. Left leg comes between your hands, back knee down, seat all the way forward. Kapyasana. Reach the arms all the way up and back. Stretch the whole front of the body. And then break the pose. Swing your hands back. Try not to touch the fingertips to the ground. And then push the right foot up off the right toes and land your foot beside your left. Uttanasana. Again, come back to that gesture of humility. Stay humble. Renounce all the fruits. They're yours to share. Not to hoard all to yourself. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back. And then come back home. Stay here for a moment. From the heart, inhale the love from the heart up to the crown. Hold the breath here. Imagine all that love going out to all beings everywhere. Just like the sun that shines down on everything. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all beings. And release. So let's try a few postures, standing poses now. I will just incorporate the balance poses right into the flow. Standing in the middle of the mat, facing on the long edge of the mat. Bring the fingertips together, the height of the shoulders, elbows in line with the fingertips. Jump your feet apart. Go to your left now, sink down to the seat. Come forward, try to get your knee over the toes, work the legs, the hips a little bit. Look like a strong, devoted, confident warrior, always ready to serve their people by protecting them. Now from here, swing the right arm up to meet the left. If you need to, you can spin the back heel up, turn on a ball or foot. So this is if you can't get your hip to turn all the way forward. Take the head back. If you need to, you can lower the back knee down to the ground and move again according to your abilities. Just do your best. Now from here, come forward, push off your left foot. See if you can get the right leg up. If it's too much, keep your arms in front. You can take your hands down to the ground or out to the side like an airplane. Maybe even behind your back. Squeeze the heels, your palms together, look like the letter T. Hips level with the ground. Good. Now lean forward a little bit. If you like, you can go further. The head comes above the height of the knee. The hands come higher over the head. Open up the palms. Top plane tree. Try to get your right foot high as possible. Point the toes. Now from here, bring the left hand down. About 14 or 16 inches in front of the left foot. Raise your right arm up. Ardha Chandrasana. Pull the right leg up higher. The hip is directly over the heel if you can. Now bring the right foot back down, back into Virabhadrasana 2. Right into Parivita Palshvakonasana. Turn towards the front, lift the right arm up. If you can, keep your back knee up off the ground. The arm is sitting on the outside of the knee, the armpit is resting on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into your right, and really push hard. Left hand into the right, so the belly comes hard in the thigh, and then see if you can spin the left shoulder all the way back, turn the face and chest up. If it's too much, bring your back knee down to the ground. If you can even take the bind here. You have lots of space in this version with your leg, with your knee up off the ground, so you can have more room for the right arm to go underneath the body, underneath the left leg. The right arm goes over your back. You can try to hold the hands together underneath the belly, push the left shoulder back. Break the pose, bring the hands back down.
on the ground and sink your seat all the way forward. Kapyasana again. Make sure the foot's flat on the ground, but if your knees are okay with it, your knee can come a little bit over the toes. Arch back, rock your shoulders back and forth, pull the hands back. Imagine trying to get your fingertips over the toes. Try not to bend the arms, think of the shape of a crescent moon, and try to realize the best you can with your body. There's no discontinuities, you don't see any bends in, any discontinuities along that beautiful curve from point to point. From here, break the pose. Bring hands down on the inside of the left foot. Move the left foot out to the edge of the mat. Slide your right toes back. You can push off the foot a little few times. Try to get your hips lower with each pass. And then bring the right knee down. Fall to your right. If your hips are low enough, your forearm can maybe come down. Roll back to your left. So make sure that the knee's not falling away from the shoulder. It shouldn't look like this. Keep the foot flat on the ground, the knee close to the shoulder. This is why you move the foot out to the edge of the mat. If you can't get your hips down, you can stay on your hands, but keep your hips heavy as though you're doing a cobra. Anchored down. Eventually the rest of the body will follow. When the hips are anchored down, the pelvis, the belly, eventually the chest come right down. If you're flexible, your chest is all the way down, your chin is down. Your left shoulder is just on the foot. Telescoping the head and chest forward, gaze unblinkingly in front of you, like a lizard. And break the pose. So from here, bend the toes under and back foot, lift the back knee, come back to the center, body between your legs, and come back up. Go to the other side now. The right foot turns forward, and then come into Virabhadrasana 2 again. Strong and steady. Exude the confidence of the warrior. Look over the front hands. Embody all the qualities of a warrior. Swing the left arm out to meet the right. Virabhadrasana 1. Demonstrate the devotion. Stay devoted to your own practice, to all, serving all beings. Now here, push into the front foot so you can get your left leg up. Look like you're lying on a table here. Do whatever modification you need to, fingers to the ground or the arms out to the side. If you want to go further, you can take your hands behind the back. Join them together. And from here, toppling tree if you like. Lean down a little bit farther. You have to bring more weight into the front of the foot, towards the toes. Bring the left leg up higher. Peel your belly up off the thigh a little bit so you can arch your back. Open up the palms. And from here, bring the left foot back down. Back to Virabhadrasana 2. And then switching, turn forward, bring the left heel up, spin on the left foot, and then go to your right. Parivrita Paschakonasana again, do the modifications you need to by lowering the back knee down. Try to get the side of the chest to your thumbs by pushing the right hand to your left and bring your body higher than the thigh. Roll the right shoulder back. If you want, again, take the bind. Use your right hand if you like to guide the hand underneath. Sometimes, if you need to, you can bring the left knee down for the balance, but you have to push your seat back so you have room for the arm to go underneath. Okay, and then you can take your bind, right arm over the back, and then you can lift the back knee up again if you like. Push back through the back heel. Turn your face and chest up. Practice, you find many tricks to come into the poses more easily. Break the pose, bring the hands down to the inside of the right foot and with the right foot out. Traverse back and forth a few times, try and get your hips to sink. Move your foot out to the right edge of the mat, and then push back one more time through the left foot, lower the knee, and
And if you can, fall to your left. See if you can get your left forearm and your left hip to come down. Roll back to your right. Keep telescoping your head and chest forward. Feel as though the hips were made of lead. Sinking down, the rest of the body might eventually follow. Keep lengthening and the body will come closer to the ground as well. Merge with the form. Once you find the pose that you're able to attain, remain undisturbed in the mind. Remain still. Eventually this becomes possible in all the postures. Find where that being is at ease. You too will find ease. Now we're going to make our way back up. Press into your hands. Send your right foot back to meet the left. Vasisthasana now. Bring the left hand more in front of your nose. Come into your side plank. Your arms in the same line, hips up. Make sure you're not sagging down, you're not dropping to the shoulder. Keep your left arm fully extended. The hands a little bit from the shoulder to allow the arm to reinforce the strength, the arm. Then move to the other hand and foot. Go to your left. You can keep your ankles crossed if you like. Makes it a little bit easier. Make like you're being blown from behind by a kite, like a kite by the wind. From here, coming back to plank. Lower down the knees, sit on the heels. Raise your right arm up. Sukha Gomukhasana. Use the left elbow to guide the elbow up higher and then push it back behind the head. Back of the head is anchoring the arm in place. Push the fingertips into the back of the heart. Keep upright here. If you can, you bring the left arm down, roll the head and shoulder forward, and then join your hands together. Pull the hands further down towards the lower back. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, lean back. Try not to drop the body back down into the hips. Keep the spine long. Look enthusiastic at all times. When the teacher senses the student's devotion, they're more inclined to share as much as they can with them. Chin back in, bring the right elbow down, shake it out. Then try it on the other side. Left arm comes up. Use the right hand to guide the elbow further up and back behind the head. And then you can just keep your right hand on the elbow like so, or the right arm comes down, roll the head and the shoulder forward, and then bring the hand up the back. Use a strap if you need to. Don't go to the place again of pain. Don't push so hard that you end up in the injury. Push into the back of the heart. Try to get your elbows in the same line with the head in between. Good. And then release. Bring your hand back down. From here, coming back into plank position. One more round. You can do the same one. If you need to, you can always drop down onto the knee. You can do it from here. Okay, or if you want, you can experiment with the variations. So in the variations, bring your feet up like you're doing a downward facing dog, and then move your left hand to the right, spin towards the right like you're doing Vasisthasana, then keep going. Slide the right toes back just alongside the left knee. You have to maybe bring the left foot in a little bit and get your hip all the way up. Then you push your shoulder forward behind so that the hand is a little bit from the shoulder. Inside edge of the left foot is down. So then it's more easy to take your leg up, to take the weight right up off the right foot. You can take the knee up, eventually the foot. Keep pushing into your left foot, inside edge of the foot down. Remember, hip is very high. Good. Oops. So just keep trying. If your foot falls, just keep trying. And then break the pose. Come back onto the other hand. Now bring the right hand towards the center of the mat. From the nose, And then you can keep going. Slide the right toes back. Push your hip all the way up. So the hip is almost over the foot. Left shoulder is way behind the hand. Inside edge, the foot is anchored down, so then you can take your weight up off your left foot more easily. You have to lean a little bit to the right, otherwise you fall. Your foot drops. Okay, so you have to be more heavy on the right foot and the right hand. Eventually you might be able to take the foot up if you have the flexibility. Break the pose. Keep the hip up and the arm fully extended. Come back to downward facing dog. And from here, lower the knees down. Come into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can only go as far as your imagination, so you have to keep cultivating a boundless one. Try to realize great things in your imagination for yourself, and then these will, with constant practice and determination, these will manifest. Headstand now. So if you know how to do headstand, you can go ahead. Otherwise, you have a few options here. You can come into teddy bear, which is easy to find a balance, but it's a little bit more pressure on the head. So you bring your seat up, come into either hands flat, or I personally like the finger stand, the fingers facing away and equal distance apart. You have 10 points of pressure. Then bring the seat up, walk your feet up as close as possible to your fingers, so your hips are almost over your shoulders. And just lift your heels, just push just underneath the knees against the elbows, and then see if you can hold your breath and take your toes up off the ground. Just peel the toes away from the ground, flex the feet. Eventually, keep the pressure into your fingertips, into the knees, and then you might be able to bring your feet up. Next step, you can maybe walk your hands a little bit further away from you on either side of the mat, so wider stance. This helps with balance. You bring one foot back, and then just so you can pulse up and down up off the heel. So again, try to get your foot as close to your head as your body as possible. The other leg behind you is hanging down low behind you. Flex your foot again, keep the balance. Hold the breath so you can peel your toes away from the ground. You can stay here, when you're starting to learn, but eventually if you push through the back foot a little bit more, do it slowly, your feet will eventually come to the same height, and this is where you find a balance. If it's too much pressure for the head, you can also come onto your forearms. Take all your opposite elbows underneath your shoulders, bring your hands forward, and then from here, bring your head between your palms. You only have to have your head on the ground. And then, see if you can lift your heels up, come onto your toes and come back down. Each time you press into lift your heels, push into the arms. So you send more weight through your arms as opposed to just on your head. Again, you can take your one leg back behind you, keep the foot close to your seat, keep your body very compact. If your leg is straight up, it's a little bit harder to find a balance. So keep your leg close to the ground and move back. Cushion the head with your hands, the wrists are pressing into either side of the head. If it's too much, again, you just stay with at least one foot on the ground. Just work where you feel your comfort level is. Back down, rest in child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Then coming back up, come onto your back now. So scooch forward to the front of the mat. To come into easy plank and roll a few times, back and forth. And then, after about 3 or so, when your legs go up, you push your upper arms into the ground, you bring your hands to your back, your feet come behind the head. And from here you can stay there, if this is where you're at, or you can start to move into shoulder stand. Before you do that, Join your hands together behind your back. Move your arms all the way back behind your back so the elbows come close together. You can't see the arms from in front. Then you bring your hands onto your back. Heels, your palms about mid-back. One leg comes up at a time. Try to get as much high as possible. Push your hips forward. Push into your back. And then the other leg comes up. Try a straight line from your chin all the way down. Up the way up to the toes. If you have a lotus, you can do that now. Keep one hand at the back if you need to, so you can use your other hand to bring your legs into lotus. If you're in lotus, you also try to keep your hips, your knees higher than your hips. If you have the balance, you can try to bring your hands to your thighs. Push. This will help get your knees up higher too. Now settle your mind into quietness. Try to bring all your attention to the space between your eyebrows. The seat of divine perception. It said that when you can bring 100% of your attention there with 100% of your devotion, this may trigger divine bliss. Here, if you're in lotus, you can keep your lotus. Bring it all the way, hinge at the hips. Bring your legs down, thighs against the body, knees on either side of the head. Those you can do full embryo, go ahead. You take your arms around the legs and you join your hands underneath your seat. On the backs of the thighs. If you don't have a lotus, come back down into plow pose. Softly again, no big, fast crash landings of the feet on the ground. From here you can stay in plow pose, your legs extended, or bring your thighs right against your body, your knees on either side of the head. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deeper within, beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Continue being a witness, watching the body, just in stillness. Start to make your way down. Bring your hands behind the back. Palms down, the thumb tips and the index fingers touching. Lower your legs down slowly. Lower your seat down onto your wrists. Keep your legs straight and keep bringing your legs down until they're about 45 degrees from the ground, halfway down. And then lift your back up off the mat. So your body looks like a check mark here now. From here, move your elbows a little bit closer in towards the middle behind the back. Push your chest up. If you can, bring the top head to the ground. If it's too much, bring your legs down. Those of you know flying fish can take your hands out from underneath now and bring your hands in front of the legs. Your arms the same line as the legs, same angle. Palms together. And breathe very fast and nose like a sniffing dog. Bring your feet down right in front of the seat. Those of you who can go into inversion right from here, you can go ahead. You bring your fingertips beside your head. Lift your seat up off the ground. Bring your head in a little bit closer. And then turn your hands around, fingers facing towards the heels. If you can, lift your head up off the ground. Urdhva upward facing bow. If that's too much, you can just slide your head back down onto the ground. Keep your feet in front of the seat and just lift your hips. Your shoulders stay on the ground. Stay in bridge pose here. Push your chest up towards your chin. Try to have your chest looking like a wall. If you can't get your head up off the ground, stay with your head on the ground, but you can stay in the Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, go according to your ability. See yourself in a pose. And then eventually, with anger determination, you'll get there. Good. feet all the way to the hands, especially doing upward facing bow. And then lower the feet down, the heels down, lower the head back down. And then from here, rest on your back for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good, now from here, arms up over the head and come forward. Back up into seated position. Here, open up the feet, Karmasana. Bring your arms underneath your legs. Take hold of the edges of the feet close to your heels and try to move your elbows out a little bit further beyond the edges of the mat. Try to get your belly to come down between your thighs. You want to try to, the aim is try to get your body down low, your shoulders down lower than the knees. Just keep on trying to pull the head forward. Keep your attention at the base of the spine. Visualize the spine lengthening from that source, the root of the spine. Be very flexible. And your knees, your shoulders are well underneath your knees. You can bring your hands back. The arms are beside the body. The fingers are facing behind you. The hands are behind the feet. And just allow the legs to come down onto your arms, close to the shoulders. If they come down on the elbows, it's going to be more, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Those of you who have your elbows free, also that comes as a result of having your legs not too far apart. You can join your hands together over your back. Slow down the breath, be like a tortoise. That's why they live so long. Every being has a certain number of breaths going through karmas, so you make the breaths last as long as possible in order to promote longevity of life. And then release. Come back out to the pose here. Cross your ankles, make your way onto your belly. Lie on your abdomen. Starting off with Cobra pose. If it's too much, you can stay in Sphinx. You can pull on the edges of the mat like you're trying to stretch the mat. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Anchor down to the lower bodies again. Lower leg, lower body with the hips all the way down, the thighs and the tops of the feet. Push the shoulders down. Push your chest forward. Shoulders back. Eventually, if you feel comfortable, you can lift your elbows up off the ground, bring your head back. Try again not to lose your neck. So this should not be happening. Pull the shoulders down and press them back. Bit by bit, you can walk your hands closer in towards the body. Come up a little bit higher, bit by bit. Imagine the top of the head touching your seat. Stay in baby cobra if you like with your elbows bent. You don't come out far off the ground, but again, do according to your condition. And break the pose, come back down. Rest for a moment, forehead on hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good, now bring the feet up. You can do Cobra again, however. If you want to take bow pose, reach around. Right hand can come from the chest. The left leg comes up. Hold the ankle and pull it up. Hold your breath. Keep pushing your foot away from you. And then see if you can take the other leg up. Press through the base of the toes. And try to come up. If you pull, use your legs to pull your body up. Your thighs will come up off the ground. Forth if you like. Pull on the ankles. You might be able to make it all the way back onto your knees. Good. Look up. At some point you might be able to see your toes. Hold a little bit longer. Angry determination. And break the pose.
moment. Breathe in, breathe out, all fatigue. Then hands underneath the shoulders, bring yourself up to seated position again. Final seated pose as a twist. Left leg out, right foot on the other side, just beyond the knee of the left leg. The toes close to the ankles. The right hand behind the back, left arm up. And then press the forearm against the outer right thigh. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. So it should not look like this. We're not lounging. Keep the back nice and tall, the head over the seat. Push the elbow against the knee against the elbow, then elbow against the knee on the left side. Keep visualizing the spine rotating around itself. This might help you to rotate the body a little bit more. The rotation starts at the hips and moves all the way up until the chin is over the shoulder. And come back. It's not just the eyes that turn. The right leg now extended, left foot on the outside of the right shin, right arm up. Push the forearm against the thigh. Inhale, lift through the chest. Turn to your left. Actively push against your knee against the elbow and vice versa. Imagine trying to pull the knee beyond the right edge of the body. Break the pose, and then from here, make your way down onto your back. Relax completely once you're down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, remove all fatigue. Imagine you're fainting. Feel as though you fell from a building. All the muscles completely soft, dissolved. The whole back of the body sinking down into the ground. Let go of all tension, let go of all efforts. Make yourself fully receptive to receiving all the benefits of the practice now. They come even at fuller force as a result of offering up the practice. Imagine the best is taking place now. Bring in the best of the best from everywhere around you. Imagine it's coming in from all beings around you, doing the same thing as you are, offering up their efforts for the benefit of others. Receive it with gratitude. Every being is a divine manifestation of God. God manifests in this physical world through the different forms, through the different beings. So revere them all, love them all, have compassion towards them all. Because remember that we all come into existence at different times. Some are younger souls who have not yet had enough knowledge to know how to comport themselves. So just exercise patience and compassion. Pray for them so that they too can eventually see the right way to comport themselves with others in a loving and kind and compassionate way. from Shavasana. Reconnect with your physical form. Start to be aware of the body again, the fingers, the toes, the arms and legs. The inner systems that animate the body, the breath, the organs. And be grateful for this beautiful vehicle, strong and supple vehicle that you've been given to carry out your mission of spreading and radiating love and energy and light and wisdom to all beings through your own actions and thoughts and words. Continue to do so in your day-to-day life. So now make your way back to seated position in acknowledgement of that mission. Close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within and send out to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. Sending all of you much love.